I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
you human trafficking.
Honorable they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
Atlantic Television Network Blowout. I have with me in the studio Jackson Lekon Ojo. Mr. Jackson is a security expert and a social political analyst. You're welcome today, Mr. Jackson.
It's my pleasure to be here.
It's always a pleasure to have you. And on to Anchor's chat. Lagos State government says it will release 14 billion naira to pensioners in March as part of efforts to inject funds into the economy to cushion the economic hardship in the country. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's chief press secretary, Boyega Akosile, who disclosed this, said Sanwo-Olu's second term in office will be about social inclusion and spoke on the government's effort to ameliorate the hardship being faced by Nigerians at this period. Sanwo-Olu said on his X handle that he had honored the plan to pay 3.1 billion naira to over 1,000 retirees who served the state meritoriously. Now, this is coming on the heels of the hardship being faced by Nigerians. Now, the question in my mind this morning on Anchor's chat is, why is this being spoken about as if it's a favor being done to retirees, in this country? Let's not forget, not too long ago, pensioners came out to plead with Governor Nwifo of Ebonyi State to pay their pensions that have accrued over the years so they can at least survive this economy. They will be able to buy food for their families. They will be able to do the needful and run expenses of day-to-day living. That brings to the question how fair and how the Nigerian masses and civil servants in Nigeria, how they are being treated, what their welfare package is like. Now, let's look at, comparatively, let's look at the people in elected positions like the governors who serve in elected positions for 4 years, and if there is a re-election, they stay for 8 years in Nigeria. And after that, they have a lifetime payment. A lot of governors in Nigeria earn over 100 million annually. A lot of governors in Nigeria have still received their monthly salary even long after they have left office. Part of their welfare package, the governors, part of their welfare package is provision for vehicles every 2 years or 3 years, as the case may be, provision for monies to take care of their staff, houses in areas of their choice. And this is just for people in elected position who served for only 8 years or 4 years, as the case may be. Now, look at it comparatively to civil servants, Nigerian citizens who served the country under the sun and under the rain for as much as 35 years of their lives. And when they are done serving and they retire, to pay their pension, to pay their gratuity becomes a fight. And that brings to question, what are civil organizations, what are the civil organizations doing about this? Why can't these people be taken care of? They were once civil servants. Why can't the NLC speak up for these individuals? Why can't the NLC put this as one of the issues that they bring to the table to the government to argue about? Why can't they put it as part of the condition to ensure that these people are not forgotten? It's as if when civil servants retire, they are forgotten. These elderly men and women are not taken care of. It is still in the same Nigeria that some persons who fought for federal governments during the Civil War came out not too long ago to also protest and say that they have not been paid since the Civil War. The question is, how fair are civil servants being treated in the country? How fair are retirees being treated in the country? Doesn't that speak a lot about what the government considers a priority? Does the government consider its citizens, her citizens, as important? Does the government consider the welfare of her citizens important? I think moving forward in the coming elections in 2027, it behoves on Nigerians to look critically into the manifesto of politicians and people who will vie for elected positions moving forward. There are issues that are critical to human survival. There are issues that are critical to human development. There are issues that are critical to security in the state, in the country. And one of such is the welfare of the citizens of the country. It is not enough to tell Nigerians that corruption will be taken away. It's not enough to tell Nigerians that economy will be rejigged. It's not enough to tell Nigerians what they need to hear. Now Nigerians should look beyond the pomp and the pageantry. Nigerians should look beyond the drama that accompanies campaign. Nigerians should read in between the lines and find out who genuinely have the interest of Nigerians at heart. For example, Nigerians should look critically into manifestos that deal with the welfare package of Nigerians. I am sure if any candidate moving forward should take up issues concerning civil servants, especially retirees, it will be taken seriously. It behoves the state governments and even the federal government as well to look critically into this matter, especially now that hunger is in the land. People are angry. Nigerians, even the wage award that is being paid, the 30,000 that is being paid, does not ameliorate the sufferings of Nigeria. When you look at the wage award comparatively to the cost of food in the market, can the wage award sustain a family of two sincerely? Can the wage award pay school fees, house rent, and also provide food? And when I talk about food, I'm not talking about 3 square meals. I'm talking about 1 meal per day for a family of 2. It is not news in Nigeria that a bag of locally made rice is over 75,000 naira, and that is against the wage award of 30,000 naira. That is over 2 times the amount that the government is currently paying civil servants. How fair is this? And we have people in the legislative house of assembly who earns millions of naira for sitting few times in a month to discuss issues about Nigeria, and I mean people in elective positions. Perhaps it is time in this country that we look critically into what we consider a priority. It is time that Nigerians actually ask questions about what the government is doing in reality. Let the policies of the government reflect the current economic reality. The truth is this: the woman in the market does not understand the economic policies. The keke driver does not understand English the central bank is speaking. The truth is that the bus driver and the farmer does not understand what they would consider ambiguous economic terms being used to explain whatever is going on in the country. The truth remains that the market woman does not understand forex. The market woman does not understand volatility, dollar volatility. What the market woman understands is that right now she cannot afford to buy a pint of rice. She cannot afford to buy a mudu of beans. So whatever economic policies that are coming up or are being taken by the government, both present and past, it is important that they understand that the masses, especially the larger masses, being people under the poverty level, it is very important that the government should also understand that a lot of Nigerians are living under poverty level, and a lot of them may not be literate enough to understand the intrigues in economics. What they understand is that times are hard, there is panic in the air, Nigerians are worried, and it appears not to get better. In view of this, it is only fair that a only group of persons who appear to have been forgotten and their welfare been forgotten, which are the retirees, it is only fair at this point that the government should sit up and look into the welfare package of these patriotic men and women who have given 35 years of their life to serve this country. And that will be all on Anchor's Charts. Do not go away. When we come back, we'll dive right into other issues.
Through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
indigenous people of Biafra has banned protests against hunger in any Southeast territory, adding that any Nigerian agents who dares to organize any protest in Biafra land will regret it. The pro-Biafran group stated this in a press statement issued by its spokesperson, Emma Powerful, stressing that the current hardship in Nigeria should be the concern of Nigerians, not Biafrans, adding that anyone who organizes any protest against economic hardship in the Southeast will put Igbo in danger. The group further said anyone or group that wants to organize a protest for Nigerians' hardship should kindly go to northern or western states. Now, Mr. Leko, this is what the IPOB agitators have come out to say, that whatever protest is happening in Nigeria is not their business. They are not part of Nigeria. So no protest should be organized in Biafra land. Invariably, what he's saying is, even if people want to go on a protest against the hunger in the land, even if they want to speak out to get the attention of the government through a protest, an organized protest, that they will clamp down on the protesters. Now, they said Biafra land. Well, I want to get your reaction to this whole story. How realistic is this?
Well, I sympathize with the majority of people in the southeastern part of the country, the place we call Igbo land. I sympathize with a lot of them because these people they call IPOB. What is the percentage of the people that belong to this group, IPOB?
Now the thing is, not every Southeasterner.
That's what I'm saying now. How many people from that zone that really believe in the principle or the policy or the aim and objective of IPOB? I think if I can just do random percentage, give a random percentage, I don't think these people call themselves IPOB, I don't think they are up to 5% of the people in Igbo land. And in a situation whereby 5% of people in Igbo land are dictating for the entire Igbo people, not through agreement, but to me it's an oppressive statement they have made now. A lot of people, there is nothing that is happening to people in Lagos today. The hardship in Lagos today, in Kano, in Borno, Maiduguri, in Katsina, in Yobe, in Gombe, but everywhere. I don't think the same thing is not happening to them in Igbo land. Igbo land is a trackable distance from this place we are talking now. You understand? The hardship is there. The naira, it's the same naira we are still spending, and they are still spending over there. The value of naira in Igbo land to converting to dollar is still the same thing, the same gari, the same yam, and I want to believe that the entire yam they are consuming in Igbo land, I think they are still coming from the northern part of this country. The beans is still coming from northern part of this country. 90% of tomato pepper are still coming from the northern part of this country. And these people do not believe in Nigeria, but they are still enjoying all this. What they are doing now, if the entire people of Igbo land rise up today to the public and say, we don't believe, is one thing, but for few persons, less than 3% of people in Igbo, they call themselves IPOB, and they are dictating. That means they are trying to suffocate the entire people of Igbo land. So to me, the problem today is not issue of you belong to Igbo, you belong to Biafra, you belong to Arewa. It's a Nigeria problem, and we have to face it squarely. I think if people are protesting, peaceful protest, it's just like a peaceful agitation. Even my children protest in my house peacefully. Daddy, today we need to increase this, we need to increase that. what you are giving to us as stipend every month, you need to increase because soap and other. They protest. And I will laugh over it. I will tell them, see the reason why I cannot increase it now. That is it. So if there is peaceful protest, that will be monitored by the police so that external aggressor, let me call them external aggressor, those people, the miscreants, will not join to use it as an avenue to make some economic gain. So to me, let me be waiting for. We have the Igbo Youth Council. We have the Ohanese Ndigbo. If those people are speaking, after all, this IPOB has been declared a terrorist group in a normal climb. Since after that declaration, in a normal climb, these people do not have locus to even speak on behalf of Igbo because they are outlawed already. Yeah. So those people that are not outlawed, the Igbo Youth Council, the Ohanese, the Igbo, whatever, let these people speak, then we know that Igbo people are speaking. But this one is not the Igbo people that are speaking. It's some handful of proscribed terrorist group that are speaking.
All right. Ironically, this group of people are able to hold the economy of the Southeast, and they've been doing so for a long time. The popular sit at home in Southeast. There was a time in Anambra State, the then Anambra governor dared to go against it and told people, Anambra people, to go to the markets. They should carry out their day-to-day activities. Even at some point in Imo State, it was also some Imo people tried to go against the sit-at-home order, and it had their consequences. They had their consequences. The governor then could not protect the people that flaunted that sit-at-home order and went to markets. They went to schools, they brought out students, they brought out teachers and flogged them. The governor could not protect them at that point in time. So the sit-at-home has brought the economy of the Southeast to a large extent. It has affected largely the economy in the Southeast. There was a time sit-at-home lasted as much as a week, as much as 3 days. They bring it up when they want. Now, the question is, when you say Ohanese Ndigbo, it's recognized. The Igbo Youth Council is recognized. The question is, what are they doing? The Southeasterners have governors. What are they doing? Why can't they come together and insist on the right thing being done, seeing that it is affecting the internally generated revenue of the state? So why are they letting a set of people hold them hostage? Do not also forget that it's important to note at this point that Emma Powerful and some of these persons that give these injunctions and these instructions do not even reside in the country. So what is the role of the Southeast governors? What is the role of Ohanese Ndigbo? What is the role of Igbo Youth Council?
Well, I just mentioned Igbo Youth Council and Ohanese because I know they have not been proscribed. You understand? That is why I mentioned them. But when you talk of authority, I think in Igbo land, I think they have 5 governors, and they have about 15 senators and 20-something members of House of Representatives and local assemblies and here and there. But there is what we call political gains. Because of the political gains, these people could not exercise the strength of their powers. There is no governor today in Igbo land that can easily exercise the strength of his power, because except if you know that 2027 we are not coming back. That is when...
Because a large number of the Southeasterners will not vote because of the person's role in fighting against IPO.
Exactly.
Okay. So,
to me, internally, it is not that the governor, the senators, and all that. It's not that they have sympathy for these people. But for political gains, if I say I should come down and descend on them now, what happened during elections? That is the problem. And all these governors you are saying, even those people that will not be coming back 2027 as governor, are they not going to House of Senate? Are they not willing to become minister or ambassador or whatever, chairman of board? So for political gains, they have forgotten about the populace. Come, we are talking of economy of the southeastern Nigeria. Is the economy of this southeastern Nigeria, does it affect the governors? Does it affect the senators? Does it affect their earning in Abuja? Does it affect them, even if if a liter of fuel is sold for 1,000 naira, 5,000 naira, does it affect them? It does not affect them. What if a tin of milk is sold for 10,000 naira? Does it affect these people? No. So just because it's not affecting them, the only way it will affect them, if they react and they want to descend on these people will say, okay, you are doing it, we are waiting for you 2027. And because of that 2027, because of the next election, none of these people are ready to talk. Because I didn't see any reason why the senators from the southeast, the members of representatives from the southeast, with their governors, I see no reason why they should not hold a meeting with the president, the national security advisor, the service chiefs, and others, and say, look at what is happening in Igbo land, because there is another government in Igbo land which is not an authentic government. And those, like, because fear of, if we obey these people, if we obey the governor and disobey these people, which one we have that consequence? So the best thing is to obey the other one, the lawless one. Because if you obey the governor, will governor come out when they are coming to your school or your children's school to go and terrorize them? Will the governor come out? If they visit you at home, will the governor come out? That is it.
Now let's look at this.
Even the police, they are afraid of their own lives too, because there is no policeman that has spare life somewhere. You have only one, and if you lose that one, you are gone forever. And when you are gone on active service, you are alive. Even your pension, nobody want to pay. Your gratuity, nobody want to pay. If you go, your wife will be removed from the barrack the second day. So based on these ones, the police, the paramilitary and the military, they are very careful too. That is it. You are not in a territory whereby you can say, I want to die for my fatherland. If you die for your fatherland, God will not forgive you in this country. Because you die for your fatherland, you throw your children into abject poverty. You are still providing for your children. It's not enough. Now you now die for your fatherland. God will not forgive you.
Okay.
So the best thing, do the best. If IPOB give law, and you know their own law, if you disobey it, we have that consequences. Better obey their own for your dear life. Simple as ABC.
That better obey IPOB for their own lives.
For your own life.
Okay, now let's...
If IPOB, they don't go out, and I know that if I go out, somebody is going to slaughter me. And when they slaughter me, nobody is going to take care of my family. Nobody is going to return my life. Which one do I obey?
Isn't that turning the Southeast states into a banana republic?
That is to tell you that they are like leaderless. I don't respect any governor, any senator, any member of House of Reps. I don't respect any of them. Because they are not really performing. They are not really standing. When the heat was tough, look at what the Yoruba leaders, I didn't want to mention names, look at their support for Sunday Igboho. Look at their support for Sunday Igboho. Even when Sunday Igboho was arrested in Benin Republic, Yoruba leaders were still traveling there. Traditional leaders were traveling there. They were talking to the president. Sunday Igboho, at the end of the day, is released. It can be free, move freely any part of the world now. But look at how many times, what the name? Nnamdi Kanu. How many times? It's only the hyper people that will come out to protest here and there. But people could, the leaders, the governors, all of them together, they could plead with the president. Yes, and say release him for us. Sign agreement. If he misbehave, we will bring it back to you.
Okay, now, anchoring on that a bit, there was a time Nnamdi Kanu was actually granted bail, and when he was required by the federal government to come to court, he did not appear. Hence, they cracked down in his home at that point in time. And perhaps could that be the reason why now the federal government or the DSS, as the case may be, has refused to let him go based on trust or grant him bail with strong bail conditions? That's on one side. Then the second question is, having seen how strong the agitation is in the southeast, having seen how it has affected the economy, the polity in the southeast, why can't the federal government grant a political solution? Why can't the federal government give a political solution to the case of Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB agitation?
Let me take you from the first statement you made. Nnamdi Kanu was granted bail and he escaped. That one should be a shameful thing for the military, security and paramilitary institutions in Nigeria to open their mouth to say it. You granted somebody bail, that person ordinarily should be under surveillance, serious surveillance, and that person moved not from Aba to Owerri. That person moved from there to the UK. How? Did he trek from Nigeria inside forest? And when he get to the river bank, he swam. But he boarded vehicles. He got to the airport. He boarded aircraft.
How did he pass through this?
How did he pass through all this?
The security checkpoints.
And somebody, and no chief of army staff, no chief of naval staff, no chief of air staff, no inspector general of police, no director of SSS was called to question that time. What are we talking about? That's a shameful act. That is to say, a single individual beat the security of the entire country. And we are proud to say it. You understand? We should be ashamed of our security system. Honestly. It's not what people, government will make to the public. Nnamdi Kanu jump bail. Nnamdi Kanu do this. How did he? Did he just come spiritual and just touch the wall and escape? He landed in London or where? What are we talking about? You understand? Yeah. That means Nnamdi Kanu is stronger than our security institution if he could beat the security of this country. So what are we talking about? So, two.
The political solution.
The political solution. Yes. I've said this several occasions. Let the president himself. People are saying the president should tell them to release him. No. That's not the route to it. Definitely the matter is in court. The president cannot withdraw that matter from the court. What the president can do through the Attorney General of the Federation is to tell them to expedite hearing and possibly get the final ruling of the Supreme Court.
Now, that's the thing.
If they get the final ruling of the Supreme Court, if the Supreme Court convict him, Mr. President has the right to call some political leaders and traditional leaders, religious leaders from the southeast, not just from the southeast alone, say, come, I have the power to grant him amnesty. But I'm afraid if I grant him amnesty, I'm afraid if we will not come out more smoky at the end of the day. In that case, these people we have to press Nnamdi Kanu what is actually your problem. Because he said he is fighting for something. The southeast is the only zone in this country that have 5 states. Why didn't just come out and give them one? After all, Northwest has 7 states. Each of the other zones has 6 states. Southeast has 5 states. You understand? So maybe that is part of the reason why, part of Nnamdi Kanu's agitation. Let them call him and press him. It is not Mr. President that will call on him and press him. His fathers, mothers, elders, political leaders in the southeast should gather themselves together, ask him, what are those things you think you want? Because Nnamdi Kanu did not tell anybody that he is fighting for himself alone. He is fighting for the entire southeast. So those southeast that he's fighting for need to know the reason why and what does he want for him to be fighting for them. Then they will table it before Mr. President. Then they will call Nnamdi Kanu. For example, you have 10-point request for the southeast. 8 is possible for us to grant. The other 2, we cannot grant it for social reasons, and social reasons. And out of these 8, we cannot grant all the 8 immediately. But every 1 year, we'll be able to do 2. And start from now, we're going to do 1. If Nnamdi Kanu see this, I don't think the guy is a madman. If your son says, I want ball, I want pen, I want knife, I want this, I want that, you can tell your son, I will not give you, there's no way I'm going to give you knife. But other ones I'm going to give you. But no, as we are standing now, you will get bread. So that you begin to eat, so that you can get strength. Okay. Your child will definitely calm down. Okay. So that is the way. The Igbo leaders should go and make request to Mr. President. Grant him amnesty. But before you grant him the amnesty, we are going to talk to him and we'll get back to you. So if they talk to him, and Nnamdi Kanu give them the reasons why he is fighting. Okay. Then they will now go to Mr. President. Okay. Look at the reasons. Mr. President, out of this, which one can you do? Which one can you not do? They now deliberate. They will agree with Mr. President. It's not that Mr. President will just dictate. Okay. You understand? Yeah. So if this is done, we now know that the Igbo leaders are trying to do something. But like I have told you, I don't think a lot of the politicians from the southeast, a lot of them are even benefiting. They are even happy with what is happening there. Because some of them, without crisis in Igbo land, some of them cannot win a award.
Interesting.
Simple as ABC.
Interesting. So a political solution is the way to go.
Is the way to go.
All right. Okay. Now on to the next story. Federal High Court in Abuja has struck out the treasonable felony charges filed by the federal government against activist and publisher of Sahara Reporters Omoyele Sowore and Olawale Bakare alias Mandate. Justice Emeka Wite struck out the charges following a null prosequi or notice of discontinuance filed by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, adding that the charges were instituted against Sowore and Mandate by the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari following their planned nationwide protest tagged Revolution Now in 2019. Ahead of the planned protest, Sowore and mandates were picked up in Lagos in a midnight raid by the Department of State Services, while the Buhari-led administration said it believes the planned Revolution Now protest was aimed at destabilizing the government or taking over power by violence. After Sowore, who was a candidate of the African Action Congress, who lost out in the 2019 presidential election that Buhari won. Counsel for the defendants, Femi Falana, confirmed receiving the notice of discontinuance and appreciated the Attorney General of the Federation for his action and urged the court to order the DSS to return Sowore's phone and other seized items from him and Bakare. Now, this is somehow a continuation of some of the points, some of the concerns you raised in the IPOB matter. Now, Sowore, Nnamdi Kanu on one hand is being held for treason. Sowore on the other hand was held for treasonable felony. And now, the federal government has withdrawn the suit against him, and he's a free man as he stands, and the judiciary has instructed that his passports and phones and other valuables should be released to him and his comrade mandate. Now, isn't this a political solution?
Can I tell
now,
you?
how different is Sowore's crime or the charges? Because right now it's not a crime because he was not indicted. How different was, because it's treason, this one is treasonable felony, this one is treason. How different are they? Sowore wanted to organize a protest called Revolution Now. So the government, Buhari-led government, saw it as an affront, saw it as a move to take over power. Nnamdi Kanu it was alleged, the federal government is alleging that Nnamdi Kanu wanted to incite people against the government and also cause a rancor that will destabilize the government. How different are these two scenarios?
The two are not the same.
Okay.
Why? Sowore was just a momentary effort to call for protest, for revolution. And since after his arrest, where are the protesters? They were no longer protesting physically, even through the media and all that. They were no longer protesting. You understand? They stopped immediately after Sowore was arrested. And for you to know that both of them are not the same, after that time, Sowore has contested the election to become president of Nigeria. Nobody stopped him, and no court convicted him to call him a terrorist. Does he have a group? No group. No traditional group, no ethnic group.
No agitators.
No agitators around him. It was like a solo movement. You understand? And before he was able to carry out, it was stopped. He was stopped from doing that. And after that time, court granted him bail. And after that bail, they seized his property. He could not travel overseas here and there. His other business, the media, was still going on. And he contested the election. He campaigned in some part of the country that he could afford to campaign. So this one,
it's an entirely different matter.
It's an entirely different matter. And let me come back to Nnamdi Kanu. I want to tell you something. If they detain Jashin Ojo today for maybe treason or whatever, and some people are saying, if we don't release him, we are going to burn down government house. If we don't release him, we are going to burn down all the police stations. Are they really helping me?
No, they are not.
They are not helping me. That is it. Honestly, if the IPOB could just mellow down, cease fire, they don't talk, blow fire and heat here and there for like 1 month, government will have a rethink. That is it.
You think that will work?
It could work. It's part of it. And who are supposed to do this? This is where the traditional rulers and political leaders need to call. Can I call them management or the handlers of IPOP? I say for now, let us calm down. There is no single individual. There is no single zone. There is no single ethnic group in this country that can threaten the federal government. It is impossible. So to me, they should stop this threatening. They should cease fire totally for like 1 month. If they do it, if the political leaders are willing, that one is enough tool or point to even assess and present to Mr. President. The boys are quiet, they are silent, there is no agitation, there is no kidnapping, there is no killing from the southeast again. So, what do we do? Then negotiation could start from there. But when we are still saying no, and even now the Khan himself is not quiet there. Anytime he has opportunity to talk, he still blow heat. Nobody will be comfortable. Oh, as you take me away, if I come back, all the people in my house, I'm going to set them ablaze. People will not allow you to come back. Even spiritually, prayer. People will not pray for you to come back. Because they know that when you come back, you are going to challenge everybody. Okay, so to me, the approach, there's not the most important thing. Let us see the seriousness of political leaders in the southeast.
Okay. Now, back to Sore's matter. If I may ask, now the Tinubu-led government appears to be of the same ethnicity with Sowore.
Yeah, but that does not.
No, doesn't that have an undertone of preferential treatment?
No. No.
How so?
It does not have any undertone of preferential treatment.
Treasonable felony is a serious charge.
Treasonable felony is a serious.
The federal government has not given clear reasons why
it is easy to charge you for treasonable felony. It may not be easy.
Did he plan the revolution?
Hello.
Protest?
Hello. They said he planned it. If I say I am going to scatter this state today, you understand? People heard me that I said it. But when they investigate around me that the man that I want to scatter River State today do not even have a knife. So what do? It is easy to charge somebody for treasonable felony, but it may not be easy to prove it in the court of law. Why is the federal government? Why did they withdraw their case?
That's the question. Why?
They couldn't prove it.
They did not state that.
They couldn't. I am telling you, they couldn't prove it. The person you charge for treasonable felony founded a political party after they contested as the president. DSS cleared him. The police cleared him. Possibly the NIA cleared him. They went to court to check things about him. They gave him clean plate of this thing that he is free to contest, and you are still saying you charge him for treasonable felony.
Now, I'm calling on what you just said now.
Except the federal government is not serious.
Haven't there been cases of lawmakers, of governors who already have the anti-graft agency on their neck, who are facing allegations of, misappropriation of
You are saying allegations.
And they still run for election, and they are still.
And you are saying allegations.
Yes.
Allege. No, if it is if it is alleged, the law says nobody is a criminal until it is proven by any court of competent jurisdiction. You understand? Anybody can go to anywhere today and say Jackson Lake Ojo is a thief. Go and prove it. If you cannot prove it beyond reasonable doubt, and the court stamp it as truly, then Jackson Lake Ojo is not a thief, he's not a criminal.
Okay. Now,
yes.
Your argument is that this does not have any form of tribalistic undertone.
No, Sowore will come out to criticize the government of Tinubu any moment. It has no political undertone.
Not political undertone. I'm talking
no tribal undertone, not ethnic undertone, nothing. It has nothing.
Okay.
He has been a free man. I am telling you, what happened was that the court could not prove it. Anybody can allege. You can rise up tomorrow and say, Jackson Lake Ojo is a white man. Then, pathologically, let us go and do DNA and others. If you are not able to prove it, does that one make me?
All right.
My enemy can come out tomorrow and don't call me anything. But let the court prove it. Okay. The court couldn't prove it. They blindly arrested Sowore without no serious charges. Is that how they arrange? I'm a security expert of global repute. In the Western world, before you are arrested for any case, investigation would have been there for over 10 years at times. And they will have the package of all the proofs. But here they will arrest you, they will go and start doing investigation. At the end of the day, they won't be able to prove it. Then you will just defeat, anybody can just defeat federal government in court. You understand? They were not able to prove, so let them tell us how they proved that Sowore was this thing, committed that thing. Oh, hey, Sowore, only single Sowore that do not have a knife. He say, I'm going to. A lot of people say so many things. Have we not seen people around this zone that are brandishing several type of guns? Have they been arrested? No. That the whole world could prove somebody brandishing and nothing happened.
Okay.
So, shame on federal government. And when I say federal government, I'm part of the federal government. Yeah. Because I govern my house. And my house is part of the country.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, on to the next story. Senate says it is currently in a heated debate over the 29 trillion naira Ways and Means funds by the immediate past administration. Although a debate over the funds had progressed seamlessly, trouble started when Senator Ali Ndume, representing Borno South Senatorial District, insisted that the Senate had acted illegally by allowing funds drawn from the Central Bank of Nigeria and already expended to be brought to the Parliament for approval. The Ways and Means Fund is an overdraft of funds drawn from the Central Bank of Nigeria following emergency and contingency needs of the federal government, and the funds having been spent will be sent to the National Assembly for approval and ratification after the funds have been expended. However, there were disagreements when a report was submitted to the Committee of the Whole by Senator Abdullahi Yahaya Abubakar-led Joint Committees on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions, Finance, National Planning, Agriculture and Appropriation. Senator Ali Ndume cited relevant sections in the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, noting that the Senate lacked powers to approve funds already spent, while the altercation deepened when Senator Mohammed Danjuma Goje argued that the upper legislative chamber had the power to approve. Ndume insisted that he was not part of the plenary which approved the Ways and Means in advance, but it was required that after funds were spent, the executive was expected to revert with details of how the funds were expended. In another news, the federal government has initiated moves to audit the 22.7 trillion ways and means loans approved by the immediate past administration of former President Muhammad Buhari. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, disclosed this on Tuesday, February 20, 2024, at the Public Wealth Management Conference in Abuja, where he explained that the details would be released soon. Edun said, "We have to stem liquidity. The central bank has led the way in pointing out that the ways and means have to be tailed down and eliminated, and that is what we agree with. We are doing in that direction. There was an inherited amount of 22.7 trillion naira in backlogs. We are auditing it, and it is like when I'm ready to pay a loan from a bank and I ask for an audit before finding the agreed sum to pay. But apart from that, how do you get your ways and means down? We have to get revenues up and expenditure reduced as much as possible." Now, Mr. Lekon, the Senate disagreed over the 29 trillion naira ways and means funds. Now, the ways and means funds, the argument here is this: it was brought to the Senate for approval after it has been expended. So ordinarily, the logical thing would be to present to the Senate. The Senate would look at it, perhaps ask questions, interrogate on how the funds will be expended and what is going to be used for, and if it is necessary at that point in time. But in this case, it's a situation where the ways and means funds have been used. It has been expended. Then after expending it, after using it, you now bring the expenditures to the Senate for approval. Now, this is the reason for the disagreement. Does that make any sense?
Okay,
are we doing things backwards?
Let me come down home to your home and ask you one small question.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe if you have a grown-up child or so. And maybe your grown-up child just go to where you keep money and just pick it, spend it, and later come to tell you, "Mommy, please allow me to go and spend that money." The monies he has spent, now coming to you that, "Mommy, allow me to spend that money." Can I tell you something? After the 8th National Assembly, what we had in 9th Assembly was a charade. And what we're having in 10th National Assembly now is a super charade. Don't be surprised that in the Senate today, I have nothing less than 10 very close friends. Though some of them senior me in age, but we are very close. But that does not mean that I will not say the truth. What is the principle of check and balances? Where is the principle of check and balances? For any approval sought, no matter the urgency, even if it is only 1 day consideration in the Senate, it should have been presented to the Senate that we need this. And the people will say, "Okay, now you need 27 trillion, for example. Okay, because of the emergency, let us approve 10 first. Go and take 10 first. Go and take 7 first. Then they will now have time to deliberate on it seriously and see the remaining 20s to even be approved at all. But in a situation whereby the 10th Assembly became a parastatal of the executive. The 9th Assembly was a parastatal of the executive. And that is the reason why the Senate President then said what? He said, "Whatever the President will bring to this House is going to get express approval." And that was the reason why the people override the principle of check and balances. After all, whatever we present to them will be approved. Before they were aware, 27 trillion. 27 trillion could take control of the poverty in more than some 10 African countries. And somebody, the executive, requested, they didn't request for it, they collected it, the way they expended it were not given, they are now seeking for approval. I am never a fan of Senator Ali Ndume. Since when he was in the House of Representatives, I knew him as a controversial man. But on this point, I think he's right. That is it. But what do you think will happen? That money has gone. Yes. The Minister of Finance that time, the Minister of Economic Plan that time, the Governor of Central Bank of that time, the President and the Vice President that time, where are they? Can anybody call them for questioning? It will not happen.
Well, the federal government says they are going to audit the Buhari-led administration.
They are going to audit. They are going to audit. They are going to audit in the media. At the end of the day, most of the people in the Senate that time, they are still principal officers now in the Senate. Most of the ministers that time, they are still one way or the other in this government. The Speaker of House of Representatives that time, because there is a joint section, the Speaker that time is the Chief of Staff now. So let us stop deceiving ourselves. There is nothing. At the end of the day, blah blah blah, something will not happen, but they will overblow it, then that event will overtake this issue. It has gone forever. That is it. How many probe? The probe that billions of naira were spent on NDDC. Where was the report? Who was penalized? The probe of power project, Donald Obasanjo and others. The entire probe, where is it? When toxic fuel was brought to this country and vehicles were damaged and their generators were damaged, the probe, where is the result? There is nothing. All this noise, I can call it noise with due respect. If it's a polite insult, if it's an insult, let them take it as a polite insult. Because all this noise is all about what? At the end of the day, they will corner those people they want to probe. Small thing will come from the back door. At the end of the day, you won't hear the report of the probe again. If they want to probe now, won't they spend some money on probing? You will hear that they should release 200 billion to probe it. They might need to buy a helicopter because at times they may need to go and probe in Ghana. You understand? All these things, they are just these are deceptive characters. Simple as ABC. To me, nothing will come out of it. The people in government that time, they are still in this government.
So it's a case of medicine after death.
Nothing will happen.
And for you, it is media trial.
It's media trial. They just want to show us that this government is trying. No. I am a chieftain of APC. And with all due respect, I'm close to the first family. You may be surprised. So, the truth must be told. I'm a realist. All this thing is, hey, this government is trying. At the end of 6 months, you won't hear anything again. Some other thing. Maybe NNPC would have stolen trillions too. Then they will begin to probe that one. They will forget about this one. Before you know, first tenure is gone. We begin electionary evangelism again for 2027.
Interesting. Well, we'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll look into bill on state policing passing second reading. Do not go away.
from the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains. Through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Every day our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
People into the country illegally.
Every day our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
amazing.
Honorable
You human
On the point of order.
Honorable
On the point of
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
so no agreement with the EU, but
Welcome back. Bill seeking to alter the 1999 Constitution and to establish state police has passed second reading in the House of Representatives. The bill, sponsored by the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Benjamin Kalu, and 14 other members, proposes to transfer the term police to in the 1999 Constitution from the exclusive legislative list to the concurrent legislative list. Leading the debate on the bill, Honorable Mukhtar Shagaya from Kwara State, the proposed legislation seeks to navigate the complex landscape of security challenges by empowering states with a means to address issues unique to their localities. He said the proposed alteration represents a visionary leap towards a safer, more secure and harmonious Nigeria. Contributing in support of the bill, some lawmakers said state police will enable each state to be in a position to take charge of their security. Lawmakers who spoke in opposition of the bill said that some states in the country are not viable financially to have state police. The bill was put to a voice vote, and the majority of the lawmakers approved it, while attempts to pass the bill proposing establishment of state police failed in the 8th and 9th National Assembly. If passed by the 10th Assembly, the bill must get the support of two-thirds majority of state houses of assembly in the 30 states of Nigeria as a requirement to alter the constitution. Now, Mr. Lekon, the bill passes on state police, passes second reading. Is this bill applaudable in face of the insecurity in the country right now? Do you think state policing is the way to go?
I rubbish it.
Why?
I am standing on 3 reasons.
Okay.
First, it is not the numbers of police we have in this country that matters. It is the willingness of these police officers to work with all their mind that matters. I want to first of all fault, instead of us thinking of state, go and recruit your own police here and there, all of that point, you understand, as reasons under this particular one I'm raising now.
Okay.
Now, how are we recruiting police in Nigeria? But you see several times that criminals were arrested and policemen were part of those criminals. You've had severally criminals were arrested and they traced their gun and the gun were hired to them by police officers. Who are these people that you recruit as police officers? What is the mode of our recruitment in Nigeria? Do you know, I heard it several times. They were about to recruit police and somebody said, since I don't find work, so I don't see work. And even the police make a go join.
Okay.
That is to say, he is not joining police because he loves to serve his fatherland.
Okay.
From that service. But because there is nothing for him to do again. So let me go and join the police reluctantly. And anything that you did, or any gift that you even received or accept reluctantly, you will not value it. That is the issue, number one.
Okay.
How are we recruiting men and women into our Nigeria police? Were they profiled? Do they know their family background? Do they know their antecedents in primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions?
Well, there have been cases of some of these, what I call them terrorists, but with questionable backgrounds, violent backgrounds, who at some point, when they came to drop their arms, they were rehabilitated and integrated into the system, even into the police force.
I'm not going. I'm not
the security expert.
I'm a security expert. What I'm still saying is this. Who are these men and women that were recruited into the Nigeria police? There's what we call profiling in security. Were they profiled? No. They were not profiled. Just because you put it online and somebody just go there to fill his name. Somebody is from Otoile, he will even say he's from Imesile. How do you track it? Do you talk to the chief? To me, the normal thing is that before anybody is recruited to the Nigeria police, military or paramilitary, any of the other paramilitary, such a person should be profiled to even his father's compound, to the community. The primary school he attended, the secondary school he attended, was he a courtist in the university? Nobody cares to know that. You just recruit them. And some, reluctantly, just like I've said, and see if there's no other thing to do, let me better go and join police. He joined reluctantly. That is one. Two, when they now join, tell me their welfare package. Tell me their salary. Is there any market? Jackson Lake Ojo is going to buy rice. The police cannot buy rice there. Somebody that is earning maybe 200,000 naira in a month, and those people that are earning 35,000 naira in a month, they are still going to the same market. What are those things that will make the police happy that they are in this service and they want to do it well? No welfare encouragement, both welfare package, the salary, police still buy their own uniform, their boot, their belt, their, what do they call it, their beret, or the police people still maintain their vehicles. You will call police. There is something around this area. They will tell you, Oga, the only pick up where they now, he looks where they now. No fuel. If there is fuel, the tire is bad. If the tire is not bad and there is fuel, the engine is doing overheating. And it is these police people, as you see on the way, on the road, where police hung their guns and continue to push their vans. You know you expose them to every risk, because when they are pushing down their vans, the concentration were there. Anybody with walking stick and don't hit them walking stick and collect those funds, the guns. So we are not really encouraging these police people. That is that. 2, our political system. Our political mentality, the political mentality and leadership mentality of these our so-called leaders, pseudo leaders. If, for example, today, state police, I'm from Osun State, PDP is governing the state now. Today, if they say they sue state police, do you think the way they are going to do it, from the ward level, the ward chairman of the party bring 15 persons, the local government chairman of the party bring 20 persons, here and there, the commissioner bring this, the board member bring this. At the end of the day, all of them are going to bring their supporters from the ward level. So you will discover that 99% of those people that will be recruited will be members of the political party governing the state. Eventually, who are they? Those are the political thugs they used during the last election. You now energize them, now empower them with uniform, and if they are going to bear arms, you understand? They now become uniform thugs, uniform criminals. That is exactly. They are going to use it to empower their political thugs. And during the election, those are the people that will be legally carrying ballot boxes. Those are the people that they will be sent to Jackson Lake Ojo is a member of APC, go and block his house so that he won't open gate during the election. That is it. They are going to recruit these people for political thuggery and other things. 2. 3. There are some state governors today that could not pay salary as at when due. Many. And you are telling them to go and recruit police. When they recruit police, they will buy boot, they will buy belt, they will buy uniform, they will buy guns, they will buy berets for police. The police they recruited, where are they going to get the money from? Where are they going to get the money from? No, apart from maybe 2 or 3, 4 states in this country, no other state today that can afford to sponsor state police.
But there is increased FAC allocations.
We increased.
After the fuel subsidy was removed, allocations to states were increased.
So
they have increased allocation.
And that is the reason why you see them now paying 30,000 minimum wage. I'm asking you, it's a question.
The reason for the 30,000 minimum wage, the 30,000 payment of 30,000 naira minimum wage came on the heels of NLC protests. The planned strike.
No, it's different.
By NLC.
No,
you mean the states or the federal?
No, that one is different from what the president declared I was going to do 35,000 something.
Yes.
No, I mean 30,000 minimum wage that have been.
Some states have implemented.
Then those states now, where are they going to get money to sponsor to recruit police? See.
Is that not a case of? Is it a case of the state being broke or the unwillingness of the sitting governor of that state to do the right thing?
Most of the governors in Nigeria today, when the allocation come, they remove some for them and their family first.
So it's not a case of the state not having money to pay civil servants.
Just because most of the state today rely not on IGR. They rely on yes, this is statutory allocation.
Okay.
It's as simple as ABC. It's like you recruit a gate man in front of your gate, you give him gun, and you don't give him food, you don't pay his salary. What do you think that he will do? You have empowered him to get money and food at all cost with the means of the gun you have given to him. Not up to 5 states today in this country can afford to sponsor state police. If they go to recruit state police at a particular time, definitely they won't give them walking stick, they will give them guns. However low, even if it's pump action rifle, they are going to give to them ordained gun, they are going to give to them. Gun is gone. By the time you give somebody gun and he's hungry, you are owing him 4 or 5 months. He will know if you have something to do with the gun. So to me, I condemn it in totality.
Do you not think it will add to the security infrastructure?
No! Let this thing remain in the exclusive list. But let us change the way we recruit them. Any of the bad eggs in the police, let them be thrown out and make it at least minimum certification to be recruited into the Nigeria police. Make it OND minimum.
Now, part of the argument is
yes.
that if state police is actually implemented,
yes,
a lot of these people, usually is the residents, and perhaps people who are born in the state, who
yes.
understand the terrain of the state. It's just like local vigilantes, community vigilantes. They know where these bad boys are. They can identify them. They know who they are. And to a large extent, in some communities, they've helped to, bring in security, to bring it under control.
Yes.
So the argument for some quarters is that if it's state police, the state police, they are on ground. They are more of the grassroots people. So they will be able to fight insecurity.
This point is potent. But what I'm telling you now is affordability.
Okay.
How many of the states today that can afford the workforce they have now, called civil servants, they have not been able to pay. There are some states that is going up to 10 months. And you want to, somebody is carrying 1 bag of rice in his head, the neck is collapsing, and you want to put another 1 full bag of rice again, that means the neck will break. The workforce, the salary they are supposed to pay to civil servants, some of them are owing 10 months, and now you want to go and add another load. They will not be able to pay, and these people will be different from those people in the office. These people are the people you are going to give guns and other things, and uniform and other things. They will use it to do evil.
Okay.
Affordability. Political mentality of our leaders. The recruitment patterns. You are saying recruiting. We recruit from my village. I'm from Mesile in Nobokun local government area for Sun State. If you say recruit from Mesile, if, like I've told you, the political criminals, the thugs, because of the next election, they are the people we are going to compensate. And have you changed their mentality? Have you changed their orientation? No. The criminality is still there. Somebody that smokes in their hand, have you educate him to stop it? Has he really stopped it before you recruit? Or you don't want to recruit so that they say, hey, boys, their job for you boys now. That is what we are talking about.
Okay.
Political mentality of our leaders. There is no governor today apart from a particular one I don't want to mention. And if I mention it, it's not wrong. Apart from Governor Babangana Zulum of Borno State, there is no governor today in Nigeria that will recruit police that will not use them as political thugs.
Okay, well.
Affordability, the mentality, political approach and others.
Recruitment process.
The recruitment process.
Okay.
The discharge process too.
Okay.
Because one police officer just commit a crime, you just remove his uniform and you say he should go.
Okay.
Where is he going to?
Well,
He will go, he had already know the tactics. He will go and form his own group to do worse.
it's all right. Fingers crossed, let's see how it goes. It has not yet been signed into law. So let's see how it goes, and we hope that the legislatures will consider every
when he get to the local assembly, they will shoot it down.
We'll see how it goes.
Yes.
Fingers crossed. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Jackson Leko Kojojo, for coming on this show today. It's always a pleasure, sir.
It's my pleasure all the time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And that's all we can take on today's episode of Atlantic Blowout. Stay connected to us on all Atlantic Television Network socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. Do not forget, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am Ogu Laurentia Choma. Do stay tuned for other programs coming up shortly.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news.